Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. Today, I want to share some thoughts from Aldous Huxley, one of my Dharma tributaries, about visionary experience. Uh, some of you may know that he was one of the few people who experimented with psychedelics, even took LSD on his deathbed. Wow, what a trip that was, huh? And in one of his books called Island, the king had mynah birds flying around all the time saying, "Attention, attention, attention." So obviously, he got the message about what it is to stay awake moment to moment and be vigilant. So one of the things he says, why are precious gems precious? Why do we afford to them such value? Because they seem the nearest in approach in our world of perpetual perishing and passing away. Something that stays permanent, which becomes a symbol of the eternal, the changeless. It remains generation after generation. It doesn't tarnish or change itself. It keeps its highest valuation. And to me, that's exactly like the insight that the yogis or the rishis of old have had, and that any practitioner in our contemporary world could have, because it's the same. So find the gold. So obviously, the visionary experience appeals to a part of us that I could say is the Platonic ideal, something that's richer and more beautiful than the world that we live in. And obviously, you'd have to see this world transfigured to see the beauty and the richness here. Otherwise, it's tinged with the veil of suffering, the veil of tears. So it's hard sometimes to think that in this world of imperfection, we could have a vision of the beloved and be blessed from it, not as a metaphysical construction, but something seen with the inner eye that validates and gives you absolute surety that this is what it is. So, because it most nearly resembles that world, which most of the time we're completely unconscious of. And of course, everything in that world shines. That's why light, whether it's undifferentiated light, like the clear light of the Buddhists, or it's just simply like Jesus, I am the light of the world, or whether it's Jyoti, the light that comes from practicing yoga. It's the most beautiful thing there is. And strangely enough, if you study this cross-culturally, there's a curious uniformity among the various traditions, with all their differences. So highly prized is this experience that people go out of their way, go to extremes in order to experience what this is. And of course, one way is to induce it artificially, if not spontaneously. And so what are some of the artificial ways you can do it? Well, there's the psychological aspect of complete isolation. You cut down on your sensory experience to the greatest degree. You limit your environmental stimulus, whether it's a deprivation tank or living off by yourself in some remoteness like a monk or a cenobite. And you concentrate. As yoga says, one-pointedness is the way to break through. And yes, you may have some diabolical versus beatific visions as your mind puts up the 10,000 horrific and 10,000 fantastic things to see. Another way is changing your body chemistry by fasting, by breath control, by standing on your head if you're a yogi, or of course, by using the various chemicals. That's the third way. Although they sometimes have a poisonous quality in reaction to your body, but it's effective. And we've created new chemicals that don't inflict damage on your nervous system. So mescaline, psilocybin, LSD, and as William James and Harvard made popular, nitrous oxide. It's a remarkable shift in your consciousness that accompanies it. It removes the obstacles that prevents you from seeing and allows certain material that's now permitted to go through. And of course, the nature of that experience comes through is not affected by the key that you used to have that experience. And although it's been criticized and discredited, it's really unfair because there's no doubt to its truth. So I hope that you're able to do your research, recognize the family of various experiences that enable you to experience light within yourself, acknowledging that each of those experiences are unique and individual in character, and it's time for you to seek that experience yourself.